Hi, I'm so delighted to have you here today. I'm really honored that you are here with me. I don't take it for granted at all whatsoever. Thank you to all of you who are new on this channel, and thank you to all my returning subscribers. I value you so much. Now, I like to say that in our previous video, we talked about how to effectively love your child or your children using the 5 love languages, and we gave an introduction of it where I talked about the bank accounts in the hearts and in the lives of your children that needs to be filled if they will really feel that love you have for them and reciprocate. And I said that love is not complete when it's coming from one side. When it's one-sided, it has to be a two-way traffic. Yes, when you love a child and the child gives the feedback that he or she feel loved, then the circle is complete. So I also said last week that I was going to do a video that talks about the 5 love languages of children and how to help you better understand the way to approach it in order that the love you have for your children will be felt and it will be effective. So today I'm doing this video on the 5 love language of children. In our previous video, I told us that there is the primary and the secondary love language of every child, of every parent, everybody at all, and anybody at all. And understanding what is the primary love language of your child will help you, to really give love, and that love will be effective. And so I also said that it is not, it may not be true that the primary love language for all of your children could be the same. No, it might be different. So I like you to sit tight and pay attention. Make sure to watch this video to the end, because I'm going to x-ray to us the 5 love language of children and how we can apply them to better understand every one of them. How you can also know which is the primary love language of your child and which is the secondary love language. Because why is that important? It is important because when you speak to the secondary love language of your child, you don't get the best of that child. Just like we have our primary and secondary temperaments, every child as well has the primary and secondary love language. So if you speak to the secondary temperament of a person, you can't get the best of that person. So you must make every effort to speak to know and to speak to the primary love language of your child in order to get the best of that child. So today we are diving into it. I'm not going to take it from any particular order, but I'm just going to do it, talk to us about all of the 5 love languages. And I want you to pay keen attention. Yes, please pay keen attention as I'll be talking, and you can watch this video over and over again to make sure that you begin to understand your children using their love language, especially the primary love language. So I'm going to start with word of affirmation. The language number 1 for me is word of affirmation. Now, what do I mean by word of affirmation? Word of affirmation are the words that speaks to the personality of your child. Yes, they are positive words that when you speak to the personality of your child, it comes up. Everybody loves to be affirmed. Everybody loves affirming words. Everybody loves good words that speak positively about them. So it is necessary to understand your children. Is that child's first love language, primary love language, a word of affirmation? That is, there are children that when you tell them, "Oh, I'm so proud of you," it boosts the lion in them to come alive. It puts the king in them. It puts the prince and the princess in them to come alive. If you tell your child, "I love you, I appreciate you, you're doing so well," it may not be every time that the child does well, but at least you speak to that aspect of the child, that positive aspect of the child that is hidden. You could also go ahead to tell the child, "I know that everyone can make mistakes, but that is not the end of it. I know you can do better. I know you're better. I know there's something better on your inside." A word of affirmation plays down on the the disadvantage or the negative traits of the child and it doesn't focus on the weakness of the child. It focuses on the potentials, which are positive traits in your child. So every human being loves word of affirmation. And when you understand, when you begin to speak this word to your child and you begin to watch out to see the difference, to notice the difference. Is that child thrilled by word of affirmation? Oh, you're so brilliant. Oh, I'm so proud of you. You're so beautiful and elegant. When you speak to these children, there's something my mom used to do when I was a little girl. She would look at me and say, "Girl, you're beautiful. I mean, your teeth is pretty." I'm telling you that at that time, I was struggling with, trying to make my teeth bright because I was really ill as a child and, different medications affected my teeth and all that. So I was struggling with, some of the reactions, and I didn't like myself. I didn't like my teeth. I didn't like to open it and talk in public. But, she would say, I like your set of teeth. They are so pretty and you're so beautiful. You're elegant. And do you know that when I got to adolescent stage, she still speak those words. But I came to discover that those words had impact in me, so much so that if young boys come around and they try to talk to you, you know what it is now, try to use you, you're beautiful. Has anybody told you you're beautiful, you're this, you're that? I'll just tell them, oh yes, I know. My mom always tells me that, so it's not a new thing. So it was more like I was armed with an equipment, with a weapon to, push all those lies aside. Why? Because I often heard it from my mom. So it's very important for you as a parent to speak these words into the lives of your children. And as often as you say them, you see something, better version of them improved when you speak those words of affirmation. And their lives will be turned around. The things that they struggle with. One thing that words of affirmation does is that the things the child struggles with, the child begins to develop the confidence in himself or herself. That child, as is with spouse now, when you begin to speak, bold words to your spouse, you begin to speak words of confidence to your spouse, you discover that there is this man or this woman in them that rise up, the queen and the king in them rise up. They go out to their job confident every day. Why? Because there's somebody that affirms that something is special about them. So why not try that with your children, and everything will just turn around. Now the second word, love language I like to talk about is what? Physical touch. Yes. Physical touch. It's very important. Very important. Physical touch, for children is so important that it communicates deep feelings of love, even when you're not verbalizing it yet. And you know that even for children who are in the womb, they feel this love, this touch already. By physical touch, can you imagine as a parent, as a mother, you just stay and then you're touching your stomach and talking to your baby, with that tender love and tender care, or your husband come to kiss your stomach, peck your stomach and talk to the child, and all that. You think they don't understand. They feel it. Feelings doesn't lie. So it's very important you touch your little children. It's very important, even at adulthood, you touch them. You hug them, you peck them, you cuddle them, make them know you enjoy that cuddle period, that cuddle time together. For me, I made it a point of duty that I was going to give my children a hug every moment. Yes, whether I was just waking up, I give them a hug. As I'm coming from outside somewhere, I'm giving them a hug. We're pecking here and there, talking, laughing and all that, and we're exchanging pleasantries, good times and all of those. They enjoy it. I tell you, a point came that I discovered that these children really enjoy it. And do you know, they've taken it over from me. Praise the Lord. As I'm coming from anywhere, or their daddy, the first thing they are doing is, they are rushing to hug They are rushing to say, Mommy, I miss you. Daddy, I missed you. As they're coming from school, as soon as they get to the house, drop from the car, they are just, all over you, hugging and kissing. Why? Because you initiated it. So it doesn't matter what any other person does outside. No. They know that there's something special waiting at home. Hug, touch. When a child, even when a child fails or does something wrong, you touch them tenderly. You can just tap. It could just be a tap on the back. It is well. I know you can be better. Do you understand? So it can just be, when the person does well, you can just give a high five, or you could just tap on the back, or you could just give that pat on the back. Oh, that was beautiful. It does a whole lot. So can we go on? The practice of physical touch. I understand that the time we're in is a time when people are so conscious of physical touch, especially of their adult children, and because of the issues with abuse here and there. But that notwithstanding, find a way around it. Make sure you pat them. When they are getting older, pat them. When they are getting older, give a side hug. You must not do this full embrace. Yes, you can give a side hug. Just stand side by side and pat the child, and touch the child tenderly. It goes a long way to communicate deep love. It goes a long way to tell the child, I am loved by my parents. I can feel it. Children work most especially with feelings, and touch brings that feeling of bonding. It brings that feeling of closeness. It brings that feeling that knits your hearts together. So it makes them to begin to have that sense of feeling. Even that little one that cannot talk already begins to feel loved. And you may not need to say too much before that child knows that they are loved. Why? Because you engage in physical touch. It's a serious tool for emotional communication. And will you give it a try today? The third love language I like to talk about for children is quality time. Yes, quality time. Can you try to make out time for your child? Have you tried to make out quality time? Do you see, there are some children, when they talk to you, the expression of the things they say to you tells you that all they desire is quality time. They need more of your time. Some of them could just come to you and just tell you, Mommy, I just want to stay in your room. I want to tell you something. That has become a language in my house for some of my children. Every minute, once I'm out, of their presence, I'm in my room. Before you know, they'll come knocking. Come, Mommy, I want to tell you something. What is it? I want to tell you something. Now say that thing. They don't want to say that. I want to say it in your ear. Mommy, I want to come close and tell you something. When a child is always telling you, Mommy, I want to tell you something, know that that child's primary love language could be quality time. That child wants you to give them your attention. That child wants you to give them your time. They want you to concentrate on them at that time. And if you do concentrate on that particular thing that the child is calling your attention to, you have succeeded in filling that love tank, which can never be taken away. That child will know that you love him or her effectively. We're losing grip of our children these days. Children are losing their parents these days because of the way life is becoming. Everything seems to be on the fast lane. Nothing is enough. The paycheck is not enough. You need to do one thing or the other, 2, 3 things, 4 things in order to meet up with the demands of the home front end of life. And so you'll barely have time for yourself, your family, and your children. But do you know that children are crying and are dying for quality time? When your child begins to tell you that, Mommy, you no longer have time for us, or you no longer stay at home these days, we could barely see you, Daddy. No matter what you're doing, in order to make life comfortable for them, you must create time to spend quality time with them. It could just be that they need you to take a stroll with them together. It could just mean that they just need you to, do their homework together with them. It could just mean that they want you to teach them the scriptures, teach them the Bible, teach them the word of God. It could just mean that they just want you to tell them Bible stories at night before they go to bed. It's something that I don't know how to say it, but there's this my child that will always, Mommy, come to my room and tell us bedtime story. Mommy, come to my room and tell us bedtime story. Even if we pray together, she will always say, Mommy, come and tell us bedtime stories. You know that what that child is looking for is quality time. And do you know why quality time is important for children and for that very child whose primary love language is quality time? Is important because it is that period you'll be able to get the things that is hidden on their inside. Yes, so many things they are bottling up, so many questions bubbling on their inside that they don't know who to express it to. Maybe something has happened at the course of the day. They need you to pay attention to them, spend quality time with them in order for them to pour out their heart, express it to you. The reason why we have abuses in our homes, our children have been abused and we are not aware of them, is because we do not spend quality time with them. So if you spend quality time with your child, you get to know when somebody makes negative advances or makes negative advances at them, and you'll be able to quickly call it into, call their attention, spend quality time with them. It doesn't matter. Squeeze out time. It could just be when you're cooking. Carry them along. Let them be there. Cook together with you. In that time of cooking in the kitchen, you can be gisting, you can be talking together. It could just be that you wanted to go outside and get something. Why not drive with them and talk in the car? Why not walk with them? Take a walk with them. Spend time together. Enjoy staying together. It could just be that you do, many things together. You pay quality attention to what they do. Give them your all. At that time, it may not be all the times, yes, but that time that they need quality time, they need you, they need to tell you something, they need to show you something in their book, they need to tell you what their teacher did today, they need to show you what happened in class today, they need to show you, one thing or the other. These are times that they are demanding for quality time from you, and you must give it your attention. If you want to get the best of them, and if you want to enter into their world and to know what is happening in there. Praise the Lord. Gift. Yes. Giving of gift. So when you give a child gift, and that child's primary love language is gifting, you discover that each time you bring the gift, many things change. It will be like, wow. So if you give gift to that child whose love language is gift, that child will not be thrilled by the gift other people use to entice children out. So if they have worked for it, then they should earn it. But because it's a gift, they don't merit it. So you give them at your own discretion. So when you give that child gift, maybe to say, I appreciate you, you've spoken to the biggest part of their lives as far as their love language is concerned. But I want you to understand that you must be careful with that child whose love language is gift, that you will not be doing it every time, even when it's not supposed to be done. Caution must be taken. So the gift can just be something small. It's not really about, the size of it, but that it came properly presented, properly wrapped, and the child just feels, Mommy was just thinking about me, was just thoughtful of me. She had me in mind, he had me in mind, and he had to go the extra mile to buy this gift for me. It's not really about the quantity or the quality of what you bought, but about the thought behind what you have done. So make every gift presentation special. It could just be boxer, buy it, wrap it, and present it to the child. And they'll feel, oh, on top of the world. It could just be, storybook, wrap it. It could just be sweet. Sometimes I just buy sweet. And before you know, I slip it into their hand. And then they will not like, wow, mommy, thank you. It may not be so big, but something small, but it's speaking volume. During my birthday, 30th of May was my birthday. And then one of my child came and she was like, Mommy, what do you want for this birthday? I was like, I don't understand. What do you have for me? And before you knew, she was like, tell me what you want. Tell me what you want me to buy for you. I want to buy gift for you. I want to do this for you. And I went out and came back. I said, anyway, gift is a gift. Whatever you do, I will appreciate it. And by the time I came back, they bought sweet, bought biscuits, bought bread, bought a notebook and say, Mommy, this notebook is for you to be jotting most of this your YouTube things inside. For you to be writing down the things you want to write. Oh, and I said, wow, this was pretty and thoughtful of you. I really appreciated it, and I made that child feel so loved. And all of them together. Why? Because they joined force together. Then they were thoughtful enough to present me gift. So they enjoy it and they want you to enjoy it too. So gift could be another love language. The last one I like to talk about, which is the number 5th love language, is act of service. Yes, act of service. It could just be little act of service, things you do for them, like you have to make their bed. It could just be like you have to dress their room. It could just be like you help to wash their clothes. It could just be that you help to iron their clothes and all of those. Their act of service, you lend helping hands to them. It could just be that you serve their food. It could just be that you even went the extra mile of clearing the table for them and tell them, take your time and enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself, I want to clear your table. Oh, it could just mean so much. It may not be much, but it means so much. Act of service. It could just be that you take your time, serve their food, serve their water for them to drink. Act of service. When you pay attention to act of service, it will go a long way, if it is the primary love language of your child, to do so much in the life of that child. It could just be, one thing or the other, not really many things matters as far as act of service is concerned, but that you took out time to do something for them. I'm sure you have learned something today, and there's an assignment I have for you. That assignment is before I come again in the next video, which I'm going to be talking about the application, how to apply this love language to the lives of your children in order to get effective love back, and also to get their response, and in order to be able to love effectively and make parenting smooth and easy. I like to leave you with this assignment. You can take 1 week or 2, maybe the whole of this week, every day of this week, and try to practice one love language on all of your children. See how it goes. Study this love language I talked about again. Begin to pay more attention to their interests. Begin to pay more attention to the things they do. And when you speak those love language, when you speak to those aspects of their life, begin to watch out for the reaction. And you will see that everything will turn around. Have you been blessed today? Have you been impacted? Would you like somebody else to be impacted as well? Please, why not hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, leave me a comment in the comment section below. Can you help me share it with somebody or every group where women, mothers, parents and intending parents are, and let us all grow together. Remember that on this channel is a win-win business we do every time I come on board. So I like to say you are loved, you're valued, and I celebrate. I'm excited about you. Thank you for stopping by and staying around. See you some other time. Bye-bye.